Tonight on Carolina Week, a collaboration between universities and lawmakers in hopes of making college more affordable.
Technology on your phone could soon help diagnose your health.
And some Parkinson's patients are finding a way to fight the disease, literally. All that and more, Carolina Week
starts right now.
From the UNC School of Media and Journalism, covering Carolina in HD, this is Carolina Week.
More students are going to college than ever before, but more are also ending up in debt. Good evening, I'm Tiara Marsh.
And I'm Bailey Ingalls. Our top story tonight, keeping college affordable. North Carolina lawmakers and the UNC Board of Governors are meeting right now to come up with a plan to keep the quality of education high, but the cost low. Reporter Anne-Marie Haggerty has been following this story and joins us live from UNC campus with the latest. Anne-Marie?
Bailey, right now, Governor Roy Cooper, UNC System President Margaret Spellings, and other politicians are gathered in Charlotte for the Achieve More, Aim Higher Forum. It's happening tonight, and what are they talking about? Us. Us being college students in North Carolina, because going to college is expensive. I talked with one Carolina Covenant scholar here who said that expense nearly kept her from coming here.
Sutton, the friendly black and white rescue dog, greets Claire Bocklage with a hug and kiss when she comes home. Bocklage has had a long day doing research in a biology lab and studying biology here at UNC. The days are long, but she says she's grateful to be a student here.
I wouldn't be at a university without this financial aid.
Bocklage's mom is a teacher. Money is tight. College funds limited.
And basically said to myself, whichever school offers me the highest percentage of financial aid, I'm going to, and that was UNC.
She got the Carolina Covenant Scholarship due to her demonstrated financial need.
I see all the struggles of not having any financial aid, so I know how lucky I am to have it.
But not all students are as lucky. 47% of high school graduates in North Carolina do not go on to college. That's part of what the Aim Higher, Achieve More Forum is meeting to address. North Carolina Community Colleges Systems President Jennifer Haygood is speaking at the forum tonight.
I will be talking about why it's so important that we address the skills gap. In North Carolina, we have a lot of jobs that are being left unfilled, even though we know that there's many people who are seeking jobs.
Jobs are out there, but education to get them is expensive, and someone has to pay, even if the student doesn't. The question tonight is who might do the paying. UNC System President Emeritus Erskine Bowles said this. In an economy that increasingly demands an educated workforce, many have concluded it is worth it to have more educated workers. Workers like Bocklage.
I know how stressful money is, and I don't think that the main stressor of education should be paying for it. It should be learning.
Learning to aim higher and achieve more.
I'll be following the outcome of tonight's meeting. They're set to start in just about 30 minutes. You can check our Facebook page for updates on the decisions that are made tonight and how they may impact your financial future. Bailey, back to you.
That's Anne-Marie Haggerty live from campus. Thanks, Anne-Marie.
UNC police are searching for a man who assaulted and robbed a female on campus Tuesday evening. Police say the incident occurred around 10:30 on Manning Drive in front of UNC hospitals. The robber fled on foot towards South Columbia Street after taking money from the victim. Authorities are looking for a black man in his late 30s, around 6 feet tall, slim, with short hair. They don't believe he was armed.
Now to a story that's been making headlines worldwide. A man opened fire onto a crowd of concert goers in Las Vegas Sunday, killing 59 and injuring more than 500. It happened right on the famous Las Vegas Strip. The gunman, armed with automatic weapons, shot out the window of the Mandalay Bay Hotel into the crowd of more than 20,000 people attending a country music festival. Officials are calling it the worst mass shooting in modern American history. Among the wounded is recent NC State graduate Jenna DeCandio. She was at the concert with her parents, who took her to Vegas as a part of a graduation gift. DeCandio was shot in the hip as she was trying to escape the gunfire. She's still in the hospital, but doctors expect her to make a full recovery. Authorities are continuing to look for a motive to the shooting. Meanwhile, hospitals in Las Vegas are still overflowing with patients.
The massacre in Las Vegas has left many wondering, would emergency responders in our area be ready for a similar mass casualty situation? Local hospitals say they have practiced for large-scale emergencies. In fact, UNC hospitals, Duke, and Wake Med have a common agreement for mutual aid. The hospitals will work together in disaster and mass casualty situations. Teams are already in place that can be shared between areas.
In technology news, Apple's new iPhone X's facial scanning feature has set the stage for a greater use of what's called biometrics in everyday life. And security is one of the only reasons why.
As reporter Lydia Davis shows us, we might soon be able to use our devices to let us know when we need a medical attention.
Sophomore Daniel Hannah Grace says she enjoys staying active, especially with her Apple Watch. Even though the device lets her check her heart rate and step count, certain illnesses and rundown immune systems are unpredictable.
I actually get laryngitis probably once a year.
What if her Apple Watch could have warned her about the laryngitis that sent her to Campus Health last week? Marketing and advertising professor at UNC Chapel Hill, Gary Kay, says this is a possibility. Companies like Google and Apple are projected to create products or wearables that can tell when you're getting sick.
In the future, what we're going to see is devices actually predicting when you're going to start having problems, predicting when you're about to get sick.
Kay says we'll see a fusion between these tech companies and other parties interested in a more widespread use of biometric preventive tech.
It'll cost less to keep people alive and to keep them healthy if we know what's happening to them before it happens. And of course, insurance companies love that because they'll save themselves a lot of money.
But this idea of where biometric technology is going doesn't come without privacy concerns. Grace says she'd be comfortable with relinquishing extensive information about herself as long as she's the only one seeing it.
I think I would feel okay with it having all this information about me as long as I'm the only one who's getting to use and see that information.
For now, Grace plans to use the old-fashioned way of maintaining a healthy immune system during midterm season with more sleep and less stress. In Chapel Hill, I'm Lydia Davis, reporting.
Having all of your medical history and data on your device could raise privacy concerns, but Kay says Apple's facial scanning technique is very secure. It can be hacked only 1 out of every million tries, whereas the fingerprint feature can be hacked almost 1 out of every 50,000 tries.
This fall, UNC welcomed 110 military-affiliated students. It's the largest incoming class of service members to date, and now there's a place on campus dedicated to them. The Carolina Veterans Resource Center has officially opened its doors. The new facility provides Carolina's military-affiliated community with meeting rooms, study spaces, support staff, and many other resources.
Here and be with other veterans and ask questions to other veterans that are experiencing the same things as you.
People coming in that are having hardships or transitioning from combat to classroom or their families and have dependents. It's very moving to know how many more people and veterans we can actually help succeed in higher education now.
The Veterans Resource Team is also available to help students make the transition to life on campus.
A complaint about the lack of diversity could be bringing real change to campus.
That story coming up next.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
A letter to the editor published in the Daily Tar Heel complained about the lack of diversity in the School of Social Work. Reporter Lex Juarez is live at the school now with more on how administrators are responding. Lex?
Bailey, the letter to the editor was published 1 week ago, and since then, Associate Dean Matthew Howard has sent out updates to the school's listserv explaining how the school is planning to diversify the program. The updates include more time being spent on student recruitment activities this fall, adding a new assistant dean for recruitment position and student support position within the school, having more personal meetings with students of color, and putting some specific recruitment plans into place that will increase the number of African American students applying to the school. The doctoral program committee will also be meeting once every 2 weeks as opposed to their typical meeting time of once every 4. And Bailey, Dr. Howard told me that this summer he outlined a plan that described that diversifying the program was one of his top priorities for the school year. But the school will have to be careful as it's very easy to get into legal trouble with affirmative action. Bailey?
Thanks so much, Lex. With us in the studio, we have Charity Watkins, who wrote the letter to the editor. Thank you so much for being with us today, Charity.
Thanks for having me.
So can you explain to us what prompted you to write this letter to the Daily Tar Heel?
Sure. Well, after being here for both my MSW and PhD at the School of Social Work, I recognized that there weren't any students who looked like me coming behind me. And I realized that when I first came into the doctoral program, it was so important for me to see students who looked like me and for them to give me the advice I needed other than just typical advising. There's some particular factors that come along with being a student of color in higher ed. And so to not have anyone behind me, not one black student for 5 years, I thought it was of immediate concern. And it came when I saw the next picture of the cohort coming into the doctoral program. And again, for the 5th year in a row, no one liked me. So I decided to, instead of being silent and kind of working within the system, that I would actually seek help from outside. And so that's why I wrote the letter.
That's great. How does it feel to know that your letter sparked changes in the school?
Well, I think that's still to be seen. I appreciate Dr. Howard really making some efforts to first not only recognize that my concerns were valid, but also to seek out more information from doctoral students and to put in place some immediate changes as far as, for instance, reaching out to Sharon Thomas, who works with the MSW program for diversity, and also working to identify a new position that may occur and figuring out how we can get more faculty of color on the doctoral committee. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be all that needs to occur. I think there's some other changes that need to happen, including looking at the racial climate of our school, especially in particular to certain situations that have happened recently. So I'm hoping that change does occur.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. That's Charity Watkins, live in the studio.
It's a fight that's frustrating many TV viewers in the Triangle area. Local AT&T U-verse customers haven't been able to tune into NBC and Fox because of a financial dispute between Capital Broadcasting and AT&T. To help fix the problem, Capital Broadcasting partnered with local antenna company Mohu to hand out antennas at PNC Arena this week. With the antennas, viewers should be able to access Capital Broadcasting's channels WRAL and WRAZ. The channels have been unavailable to AT&T customers in the Raleigh area since September 13th, leaving many customers frustrated with both parties.
It's inconvenienced me tremendously. I mean, I live right down the street, but I have spent the last 3 weeks not watching my favorite channels, my favorite shows, especially the season openers of This Is Us, Will and Grace, so it's been very frustrating, very, very frustrating.
No word yet on when Capital Broadcasting and AT&T will reach a deal.
On a happier note, most people go to an art festival expecting to look at art. But an art festival in Chapel Hill gave visitors the chance to create some art of their own.
Chapel Hill's annual Festifall Arts Festival took over Franklin Street on Sunday with a myriad of things to do, like eat at food trucks, listen to live music, play video games, and even get a picture in this giant chair. But the main event was Chapel Hill Magazine's Mega Mural, which allowed attendees to show off their creativity.
We've always done children's crafts at our booth every year, and we love having the kids come and do something fun with us. And this was a way of doing an even larger craft for them.
The concept came courtesy of festival supervisor Amanda Fletcher, who says community murals have recently become very popular.
It's a big trend in the festivals to do oversized, large murals that are interactive.
The idea is simple. Put a blank canvas in the middle of the festival and kids will flock to it. But it wasn't just children getting involved in this masterpiece. Chapel Hill residents of all ages got in on the action, adding their personal touch to the mural.
It's a nice way for parents to be able to bring their kids, get out for a beautiful day, and have be able to probably enjoy themselves a little bit more. Because
as for where the mural will find its permanent home, the town has yet to make a decision, but it will be in public for all eyes to see.
We're still kind of making the final decision, but we will do something very unique and good with it that hopefully will be in a place that everybody can enjoy.
Regardless of where it ends up, organizers say the piece will be a representation of the Chapel Hill community. In Chapel Hill, Evan Crush reporting.
Festifall is an annual event, and not just anyone can show off their work there. Artists and musicians from all over the country apply, and they are judged on their uniqueness and skill before they're given a spot.
Gorgeous weather today, but the temperatures could be rising.
We've got weather coming up next.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. I'm your meteorologist, Alex Clement. A couple of things I want to cover. We are going to take a look at the tropics and a possible late weekend washout and still seasonably warm for October. If you take a look, this is Tropical Depression 16, currently over the western Caribbean right now, and the expected track is to take it north into the Florida Panhandle by Sunday into Monday, and that could play a role in our weather as we get towards the late weekend. Hopefully it doesn't affect the game this Saturday, but we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what happens. And take a look at the surface map. You can see that currently over the area is a high pressure, and this is why our air is cool and dry right now. We get warm in the daytime, but we cool rapidly at night, and that's because of the lack of water vapor to keep the heat in. But if we look back to the west, you can see this trough here, and that's going to play a big role in what to expect for the weekend. As this advances across the state, after this high moves out to sea, it brings with it a chance of precipitation, plus it pulls up the moisture from the Gulf. And take a look at the expected rainfall forecast over the next few days. Nothing for North Carolina at the moment, but as we get into the weekend, you can see that changes quickly, and depending on the track of that storm, could see more or less rain as we go into the weekend, into early next week. Clear and dry today. Light winds, beautiful sky. Let's take a look at the radar real quick. You can see that there's nothing across our area right now. No precipitation to speak of. This is just bugs, dust, and whatnot, but no rain as far as we can see. Tonight, let's bring it back home. You can see it will drop down to 55 degrees because of those clear skies and lack of water vapor in the air. It's going to allow us to drop rather quickly. Light winds overnight, and then for your tomorrow on your way out the door, really cool at 8 a.m., but warming up quickly by noon. A beautiful day on tap from start to finish. After a high of 84, will be around the low 80s, around 82 for your commute home on around 5 o'clock. And then for your football forecast, you can see that a little cloudy over the day. Cool temperatures in the morning, but mid to low 80s by kickoff, and then still in the 80s after the game. So definitely something to look forward to. Hopefully the forecast stays this way or even becomes sunnier. It could be a little warmer on that day. And then for your weekend getaway, if you want to take off to the beach, Saturday's looking okay. Sunday, when it go into overnight, it's going to get a little cloudier, and expect showers to move in on Sunday. And for your 5-day forecast, you can see that we're looking at the mid 80s across the board, and those clouds accumulate as we go into the weekend, and that chance of storms comes on Monday.
All right, definitely looking forward to this great game day weather. So thank you so much, Alex.
Well, hopefully we might hold on to some of the clouds so it won't be as hot.
Mm-hmm.
I know earlier you were talking about how you were looking forward to fall and
Yeah.
a little tired of the warm temperatures. So
All right.
hopefully we got that coming up soon for you.
Thank you so much. When Carolina Week returns,
the men's basketball team could be reloading in a huge way.
we had to wrap this up. Can we do that after the video? Sorry.
I mean,
I had to do the thank
look
you.
at him.
Because I already said thank you out.
What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Oh, thank you. Did you see anyone's broccoli? Thanks for helping us. No problem. Is this your You're welcome.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Abby Presley. Coach Roy is gaining momentum with ESPN 5-star recruits. Wing player Nasir Little is announcing his commitment tonight at 6. Signs have been pointing to UNC as his choice, but nothing is official. Little would be a solid addition to UNC's front court. Not only can he break ankles, but the man has hops as well. 24/7 Sports has Little ranked as the 9th best player in his class and 4th best small forward. Watch as Little does it all in this sequence: the block, the steal, and now he's running the floor like a point guard. Oh, and don't forget the powerful two-handed finish. Fans would love to see this versatile player in Carolina blue, and 24/7 Sports says Little has a 100% chance of coming to Chapel Hill. And Carolina might not be done getting top 10 recruits. 24/7 Sports reports that Simisola Shitu, the top-ranked power forward and number 9 ranked player in the country, is showing interest in the Tar Heels. The big man from Vermont is tenacious under the basket, and 24/7 reports that his top 2 schools are Carolina and Vanderbilt. Five-star prospects scooped by UNC in recent years include Tony Bradley, who is the first five-star recruit to commit since the trio of Joel Berry, Theo Pinson, and Justin Jackson arrived in 2014. Meanwhile, the football team will take to Kenan Stadium this Saturday looking for its first home win. But it won't be easy as the opponent is 21st ranked Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish have no shortage of weapons, but perhaps the most dangerous player is running back Josh Adams. Why isn't this guy getting more national attention? He ranks 4th in the country with 658 rushing yards, 73 of them coming on this run against Miami of Ohio, and that was only the second play of the game. Adams has passed the likes of Penn State's Saquon Barkley in yards and yards per carry and has 4 TDs to date. Get off me, little boy. If Adams can stay healthy against Carolina, he could be unstoppable. From football to football, the third-ranked UNC men's soccer team was in Beat Dukes mode on Tuesday in Cary when they took on James Madison. It was a tight game in the first half until Cam Lindley placed a perfect ball to the head of Allen Wynn for the first goal of the match. Fans saw an offensive explosion during the second half as Lindley sliced through defenders for the Heels' second goal. Lindley then converted a penalty kick off of a nice hesitation move. Zach Wright found the back of the net in the 71st minute, and Giovanni Montez de Oca finished things off with 2 straight goals. The Heels are back at Wake Med Park on Friday night to take on the number 2 ranked Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. 4 members of the women's tennis team headed to Pacific Palisades, California this week with hopes of qualifying for the Intercollegiate Tennis Association's Riviera All-American Singles Championship. First-year Allie Sanford, who won the ITA Oracle Masters Championship in September, fell in the first round to Georgia's Katarina Jokic. Sophomore Alexa Graham was also defeated in the first round but is currently playing against Ole Miss's Natalie Suk in the consolation bracket.
Some great analysis by sports analyst Abby Presley. Thanks, Abby. This is more than just boxing.
It's a fight for life. The story coming up next.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you...
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday. And I love tacos.
They say every boxer has a story, a reason they're drawn to the ring.
It's no different for the boxers of Rock Steady Boxing, athletes who fight Parkinson's disease. As reporter Campbell Payne shows us, they're sparring against their disease, using hooks and jabs as weapons in the fight of their lives.
Elizabeth Exum leaves her house to walk her 2 dogs, something she once took for granted. Until in 2010, when she was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease after developing a limp at only 48 years old.
I have never been upset or depressed about it one day. I just started fighting back immediately.
Exum found her fight through boxing. She takes classes in Cary at Title Boxing.
When I heard about the boxing, I thought these are the kind of people I want to be around, and in fact, that's exactly what happened. We're all fighting. We all get it.
Being a part of a group that gets it is what boxing instructor Amanda Novacek says it's all about.
What makes this as beneficial as it is the sense of community that they have.
But make no mistake, when the gloves come on, all smiles are gone.
They throw punches and call out their grandkids' names and their kids' names and their pets' names and their friends' names. Like, they're not here just fighting for themselves.
Punches are directed at their common enemy.
That bag is Parkinson's disease for an hour and a half, and they show it.
Today, Exum is able to keep up with her dogs again, an improvement she attributes to boxing.
My disease has not progressed at all since I was diagnosed. As a matter of fact, I've gotten a lot better. I do have to think that it has something to do with the boxing.
In Cary, I'm Campbell Payne, reporting.
Wow, I think the biggest thing to take away from that is that they aren't letting their disease control them.
It's definitely a motivating story, but that's all we have for Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time. When I tell you, I was like, that's not what I'm saying.